How you doing? This is Falky, the guy from Pittsburgh, George Senda. Okay, I'm going to talk about two things in this one. The perception of some that don't perceive. I'll start out with MV. MB from Bellgab. Now, it's his board. He can do whatever he damn well pleases on it. Wants to throw me off again, fine. Wants to delete all my photos, fine. Wants to delete all my posts, fine. That's his prerogative. But he bitched that he was getting replies from me from my emails, as if there were hundreds of them, when I think there may have been 5, I don't know. But I wanted to say something about that. I took one of the emails sent to me, and let's see if I can find it on my screen. No, that's not it. Hold on. Well, on the bottom of his emails, as soon as I can figure out where the hell it is, there's a thing that says, do not reply. On the top it says, do not reply. And on the bottom, it says, click to reply. Now, it took me some time to figure out why I wasn't supposed to reply to these. And I know it pissed MB off. But it's confusing. And to these people that think I'm some kind of an idiot, you're not an idiot if you don't know how to do stuff. And I'm going to go to this one. Somebody sent me a thing, and it says here, you have just been sent a personal message by blank on Bellgab.com. Important, remember, this is just a notification. Please do not reply to this email. Well, on the very bottom, there's the message, and then it says, reply to this message here, Bellgab, blah, blah, blah. So I was clicking on that. So it's contradictory. It says, on the one hand, don't reply to it, and on the bottom it says, reply to it here. So I thought I was supposed to reply to it there, because I didn't read the rest of the message. I just read the content of what was being sent to me. And I've had messages go off to people on Bellgab that had a blank spot in them. Instead of their name, their handle, whatever you want to call it, it just went off into the ether. And I don't know where it goes after that. His servers, his house, his personal inbox. That's, in a sense, none of my concern. I don't know how it works. I send stuff on my forum, it goes to the people. I don't have this problem on my forum. So, if there's something wrong with his inbox system, I shouldn't be responsible for that. I don't know that for certain. Now, the other issue is MB gets mad at me about posting pictures. I post pictures to emphasize what I'm talking about. I'm a visual kind of guy. I do it on my post, I do it on my forum, I post videos. And if they eat up bandwidth, I'm sorry. I offered a long time ago to donate to MV to the forum. $20-25 at a pop. He declined. I'd be willing to do it again if he thinks my pictures are taking up too much bandwidth. Now they're taking up too much of his time. I don't know. So, that's another thing. He got so mad he deleted all the pictures I've ever posted. And I don't think that's right, but that's up to him. He wants to do that, fine. And then somebody on the Art Bell forum said, Falky is ruining the Art Bell thread. Well, I don't know how to tell you guys this, but if you go out of the insulated world that is Bellgab, you've got 1,560 members. I did a rough calculation. That's a tiny percentage of the population out there. And I hate to tell you, if you don't realize this, there's a lot of people who don't even know who Art Bell was or is. And I've been doing my best to keep the memory of Art Bell alive on YouTube. I do videos about him, pro and con. I talk about him, I mention him in every video. And unlike the naysayers who think he's not going to come back, you cheap bastards that didn't want to pay $15 for Sirius or $25 I didn't want to buy a radio. And when you bought a radio, I got this radio sitting here on my shelf. What do I do with it? If you don't want to listen to Sirius, put it on eBay. Sell it. Give it to some church. Give it to a charity. Something. Put it in somebody else's car. But don't bitch about it because Art's gone. But I think there's a large percentage of those 1,500 members that want Art Bell to fail. Then they can have the pleasure and they can get their jollies off by saying, see, he didn't come back. He didn't want to come back in the first place. It was all Art Bell BS, and I knew it all the time. Well, I hate to tell you guys this. Art wouldn't be busting his ass to try to come back. And he's mad about he can't use his bumper music. And another thing, if you 1,500 guys gave $30 a piece, if I did the math right, let me see. 1,500 times 30. I'm not saying every month. Everybody threw in $30. That'd be $46,800. All right. Let's say only half of you like Art Bell. That's $23,400 total. All of Bellgab could crowdfund Art Bell and get his music on the air. But you guys whine about, I'm not going to spend $15 or $4.95 a month to listen to Art Bell. I'll get it off some pirated stream somewhere. You can't have it both ways. If you like Art Bell, then if you have to, you pay for Art Bell. If you don't like Art Bell, don't listen to Art Bell. And another thing, they talk about me rambling. I don't ramble. I talk about what I feel has to be said. It just may take me longer than somebody else. I'm not a professional. I'm certainly not George Norrie. I'm not Art Bell. I haven't been behind a real radio mic except once. And I did that for about 30 seconds on a real radio station a long time ago. And everything you see in this room and everything you see me do on videos or whatever I do is because I learned how to do it. I didn't have any help or very little from other people. I've asked for advice and get deaf ears in some case. And don't get replies. I don't know everything. I don't profess to know everything. But I'm not a stupid person. A stupid person wouldn't know how to do this. A stupid person wouldn't figure out where to get this microphone or where to get this microphone or how to get it to work or what to do with it. I just don't know how to do certain things. The last thing I am not is stupid. So I'm sick and tired of that. And somebody, why don't you just throw the stupid son of a bitch off of Bellgab? Why don't you shut the hell up? And like I've told people, if you don't like my stuff, don't read it. And I don't post that much in the Art Bell thread or the George and Air thread unless I find something interesting, or in this particular case, within the last couple of days, Art posted about me personally. And it was a joke, but I went along with it, and I made some posts in reply. And if someone talks about me, I feel I have the absolute right to reply to it. And if you don't think so, well, that's too bad for you. But there's a certain percentage of people on Bellgab, no matter what I post, they don't like it because it's about me. And they think it's all about me, and it's not. Now, with 1,500 members, am I the only member who's to be muzzled like we're in communist Russia or in Red China where they shut down the internet? Everybody else on that board can post all they want unless they've been banned. But the minute I say anything about anything, oh no, here's Falky rambling again. And excuse me, I don't usually use this word, but that's bullshit. And deep down, if you had any sense and weren't stupid, and I think you are stupid, you'd know that. And I'll tell you one thing. If there were a way for me to start a crowdfund for Art Bell, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But I think you have to do it for yourself. You can't do it by proxy. And I'll send Art Bell, General Delivery, Pahrump, Nevada, $30. Drone sent me $30 to help buy a radio that I never wound up getting because Sirius told me the wrong amount. I would have paid money at the time. I was short of money. But I got money in the bank, not much. I'd pay $30 a month to listen to Art Bell read a laundry list or his grocery list at Walmart, or what he had for dinner at the Pahrump Casino, rather than some of these guys out there couldn't do a paranormal show if they had a gun put to their head because they're lousy. And everybody's whining about one other thing. Everybody's whining about Jimmy Church and how he left the Dark Matter radio network and he was the best thing on there. Well, I didn't listen much to Church, but I posted every one of his shows, every one of the videos from YouTube on my forum so other people could listen to him, and they can choose to listen or choose not to listen. And that's what it comes down to, choice. I also post every Nori program in my forum. Why? Because some people may have missed the show and want to hear it. Doesn't mean it's good or bad. Everything I read about Nori, there's people that every night they sit there hovering over their radios at 10 o'clock or whatever the source they're getting Nori from. Oh, look what Nori said. Ha ha ha. He put his foot in his mouth again. The man's been on there for 12 years. I'm not saying he's great. I think he's a failure in a lot of ways because he doesn't work at it like he should. But he's still on the air. They gave him a new contract. Now, either it's low information listeners, and that's why he's still on the air, or maybe a little tiny bit of Nori's experiences in there. And I also get tired of people criticizing, why do you pick on George Nori so much? I'm not picking on him to pick on him. I'm mentioning the things he does that I feel are wrong or stupid. And the guests that he has on that make blanket statements that are so outrageously wrong or lies or self-promote their books or self-promote their predictions or what have you. And they're wrong. And Nori doesn't confront them. Nori says, wait a minute, you made all these predictions. There will be a list from here to here. And he never calls him on it. Oh, we'll just be happy to have you back. And you can make your wonderful predictions again. That's the sort of thing I rail against about George Nori. I like the guy personally. I'm going to meet him in April unless I piss him off. He didn't want to meet me. Then I'll go down there and still see if I can see him. And if he doesn't want to see me or talk to me, turns his back on me, so be it. But I'm not attacking Nori for the sake of, oh, I wake up this morning, it's time to attack Nori. I've got 350 videos on here, and 10%, 34 or 35 are about Nori, and a lot of those aren't even talking about Nori so much as his guest, like John Hogue, and the Numbers Lady, and the Psychic Twins. I've got things stacked up on my screen for videos to do about psychics, and I've done stuff, the Coffee Lady and things like that, where I go down the list their predictions to show how many times they're wrong. And let's not forget to mention Ed Dames, who's so frequently wrong that they should have a show on Coast to Coast, the worst of Ed Dames, as a fill-in when they can't get another host for the weekend. They can just edit all his appearances and just have nothing but wrong Ed Dames predictions. But I'm tired of it. If you want Art Bell on, then be willing to pay for Art Bell. If you don't want Art Bell on, then don't have Art Bell on. But don't say he's going to fail before he even has a chance to go on the air. Put your money where your mouth is. If you want Art Bell, help Art Bell get on the air. I don't know if it's going to cost $25,000 a month or $25,000 a year. If it's $25,000 a year, everybody should chip in $30, and that would pay for the music. And he'd have his music, and you'd have Art Bell. And he ain't getting any younger. I want Art Bell to come back with a passion. I know Justin does, my administrator. I know Area 51 does. I know little Chris does, even though he irritates the hell out of me. And I'm not talking to him right now again, because I have certain parameters I've told Chris and Drone they shouldn't step over, and they keep consistently doing it. This is the subjects I don't discuss, or this is not funny, it's disgusting. So that's why from time to time I don't talk to them. Now I'm talking to Drone, I'm not talking to Chris anymore. And Chris knows the reasons why. But all 5 of us want Art Bell back. And he had 15 million listeners. And if you even took that down to 10%, it's 1.5 million listeners. That's almost as much as Nori's got now. Take it down to 1%, that's still, 150,000 listeners? Everybody there chips in $30. He's back on the air in a heartbeat. So quit giving Art Bell crap. Okay, this is a lot longer than I intended, but it just gets my dander up to see this night after night. Art Bell is going to fail. I made a video on it that, why can't he get his bumper music? How hard can it be? And even people suggested he get help from people in the industry. Where are the people in the industry helping him out? And I'm not referring to just Bateman. Bateman's a great guy. I like Bateman. He knows the industry back and forwards. But where are all these people? Rolly James, she made a post about Art. But where are they helping the guy out? Someone go to Pahrump face to face and bang on Art's door and said, I'm here for you, Art. Let's see what we can do to work this out. That's what I'd do if I were in the radio industry, to help a legend get back on the air. Not because it'll be competition or would affect my ratings. Who's going to listen to you at 9 o'clock telling the news or the sports or the weather in East Podunk, Iowa? Speaking of weather, I hope Justin's staying warm. He was sick recently, and he said the wind chill factor last night was 40 below zero. I'm glad I ain't there. All right, one other thing. This is on a personal note. I bought this coffee. It's terrible. Seattle's best coffee, because they used to serve it in Borders. And then I got a bag of this Don Francisco, and it's both equally horrible. Both of them tasted like mud in my coffee pot. So if anybody has any store-bought coffee they like, send me an inbox or an email at falky2013@gmail.com, because I could sure use some fresh ground coffee in the morning. It didn't taste like it had been sitting in a coffee pot for 3 weeks. All right, that's all I got to say. This is Falky, the guy from Pittsburgh, or George Senda, what you choose. And I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Hold on. I forgot. So mad I forgot to say it. Free Art Bell, Free Art Bell's Bumper Music, Free Coast to Coast AM, and Free the Duck. All right. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.